happening.
Good afternoon. I am Vanessa Thomas with the 4 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. In the headlines, government extends SOE but says it will end at the first opportunity to do so. Independence Day parade cancelled. 2 murders recorded this morning in Aripo and Waller Field, and internationally, more than 1,000 attendees at a London festival test positive for COVID-19. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley has made a case for extending the state of emergency. Speaking at today's sitting of the House of Representatives, the Prime Minister said COVID-19 is still raging and the Delta variant has made the situation even more untenable. Dr. Rowley said he sees lives first and livelihoods later, as he noted that Trinidad and Tobago has lost over 1,000 people to COVID-19 since March 2020. He said it's not about taking away freedom, but about preserving lives. The Prime Minister gave the assurance that if Parliament grants a 90-day extension for the state of emergency, government will end it at the first opportunity where it is reasonable for them to do so without exposing the population. Meanwhile, a one-man peace walk was staged this morning around the Queen's Park Savannah, demanding the SOE be brought to an end. Adrian Acosta, a representative of the group Concerned Citizens of TNT, began his walk shortly after 11 a.m. Acosta had issued a call on social media on Tuesday, asking the population who shared his concerns about the SOE to join him. However, no one else showed up. Acosta, with his placard, walked around the savannah alone. He said he felt the SOE was a waste of time and it had done nothing to stem the spread of COVID-19. He is also opposed to any efforts to make vaccines mandatory. In other news, there will be no Independence Day parade this year. In a release, National Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines said, after careful consideration, having regard to the current situation with respect to COVID-19, it was determined that the safest option would be to forego hosting any parade this year. The release reminded people to abide by the public health regulations and to stay safe. In more news, an unidentified man was found dead at the heights of Aripo this morning by patrolling officers. According to police reports, at about 10:15 a.m. today, a party of officers were on mobile patrol duty when they received information of gunshots heard at the heights of Aripo. They responded and subsequently found the body of a man suffering from gunshot wounds lying at the side of the roadway. Police said the man appeared to be dead and is yet to be identified. And in a separate incident at Jacob Hill in Waller Field, police said at about 8:20 this morning, the deceased, Kevon Mark, a.k.a. Boyo, was standing in the vicinity of Thomasville one-stop shop when a silver AD wagon, registration unknown, pulled up and its occupants fired several shots in the direction of the victim. Upon check-in, he was discovered lying in the front of the gateway entrance to the shop. He was shot multiple times about the body. Finally, on the international scene, more than 1,000 people who attended a music festival in Suffolk, England, tested positive for COVID, according to English government figures. Close to 37,000 visitors were at the venue daily from July 21st to 24th. All festival goers needed to be fully vaccinated or test negative, but findings showed 432 people were probably infectious at the time. The Music and Arts Festival at Henham Park was the first event of its kind after the relaxation of lockdown rules in England. And that was the 4 o'clock news on the street, 919 FM, and online Facebook and YouTube. Recapping the headlines, government extends SOE but says it will end at the first opportunity to do so. Independence Day parade cancelled. 2 murders recorded this morning in Aripo and Waller Field, and internationally more than 1,000 attendees at a London festival test positive for COVID. Do enjoy your afternoon and continue to be safe. Aisha Wells, she's up next, and she's already in the building.
News from the street. News from the street. 919fm.com.
Damage. Patriots. no sir. The fire no stop, and judge and not turning back. Just like, give me the light for me get rid of the dark. When I worship God more than them praise God. Lose them life, God them claim them bad. Friend or kill friend over things where them have life coming like one big barrel full of crap. We are leading a path of destruction. Stop read what Bible full instruction. Get a youth, them and no food, I feel yam, but a beer gonna buy with the money where you scam. Don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait till it's too late. Some do wrong instead, cause everyone of it dead. That's how you talk when you lose faith. But don't wait till it's too late. Don't wait till it's too late.
Remember, when you get in to like the video, share the live, alright?
They keep the corner for them a two-face. Mr. Coronavirus, all of a sudden. Them make that I me now I hear nothing. Let me see it clear now, something in a something. Me a see it in a show before me know nothing. I plan them planet, me call it pandemic. Mad scientists and evil as chemists. Go on like I feed them life alone, one cherish. And I try find ways to see mankind perish. Don't wait till it's too late.